So, yesterday I offered to give a little BBC talk, and I am very happy to be here with you all. I wanted to express that first. My practice is so dependent on the existence of this monastery and on your practice the last 5 years of my coming here. So, very, very dependent in that way. And I've thought a lot about that. I wanted to just remind you how aware I am of that in this moment and often. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your practice. And in sharing right now, I hope that I can speak the truth, share from my heart, and and my purpose is to express gratitude for one. That's one of the things I want to do, and then just share a little bit about my practice during my time here at the Abbey as a long-term guest, which is soon coming to an end. So I started coming to the Abbey in 2018 and was not a practicing Buddhist. I had been listening to Venerable Children's weekly teachings that I just stumbled across on a podcast app. Actually, wasn't for some months after coming here that I realized there was a whole YouTube channel with all these amazing teachings. But yeah, very quickly I started to feel that this was very important stuff that I wanted to learn more about and investigate. Even though I'd already had exposure to, kind of dabbled in Tibetan Buddhism, very grateful to have been able to be introduced to it at my Tripa College with Yangtze Rinpoche. But it didn't really start to click for me until I was here in this monastic community and really getting intentional. Like, yes, I want to like learn what's this all about. And after my first retreat here, I went home and started trying to do the meditation practices and stuff on my own, along with continuing to listen to teachings a lot. So fast forward, skipping lots of details, but at the beginning of this year, I did request to do a 6-month stay. And so at the beginning of April was when I got here this year. And at that point, I'd already, received a lot of teachings and been to different retreats and events and involved in things. And I felt that coming here would help me to further integrate and learn the Dharma. So during the request to train ceremony, they asked, are there some things that I want help with in my practice? And I was able to identify that I would like to decrease arrogance. I had started to see that more in my mind and the problems it causes and all the different forms it takes, and increase confidence in my good qualities and increase sensitivity to the needs of others, increase my compassion. And I feel that I made some progress with your help and my time here practicing in this space, this container, which is so ideal for practice. So I guess, there's no way in 10 to 12 minutes to talk about my whole experience, but just a couple of things I thought to share was I really feel I see how practicing and serving here this past year is helping me to start to not only just like grow up as in like see the self-centered thought, how all the different forms it takes, and that it really is just like this whiny little baby. It's very childish, wants what it wants, but it wants it. And how to start to let that go, clean up my mind some, and make space for the virtuous qualities, Buddha's mind qualities to take root and start to grow and develop those, because those are what create the happiness I've been seeking all along, not this self-centered, I want what I want when I want it. Or even, that self-centered thought, it also doesn't like things to go the way I wasn't expecting, or, it just gets like so confused and shocked when I didn't realize can also lead me into a lot of anger. Yeah, just really messy, a lot of confusion and fear. So fear is one thing I've been so baffled about for much of my life. Like, why do I get so fearful and so anxious sometimes? And I've worked on a lot of different like emotional issues and things in therapy, which has been very helpful. But even still, I was like, where's all like this fear? Like sometimes it just feels like there's just this underlying like low level fear because it's just constantly there. And it's been pointed out what I heard and what I heard was like attachment is a big cause of fear. So if I'm attached to something and afraid of losing it or not getting what I want, or and just how to really being my time here has helped me to unpack that more, and I have a lot more to unpack. But it's been very, very helpful to start to see what is causing this suffering, because fear is very painful, and it can cause me to do a lot of stupid things too. Like, I mean, yeah, just create a lot of harm for myself, for others, a lot of negative karma, and really sabotages my efforts to connect with others, which I really enjoy doing and benefiting them. It's this aspiration I have to make my life meaningful and beneficial. And that fear really blocks my ability to do that, all the afflictions. So, yeah, that's one thing I wanted to share. And then another is I've had lots of opportunities here in community with all of you, who I feel like are really have been wonderful examples of showing me what kind of friend I want to be to others. Yeah, just really, yeah, the type of friend that's and changing the meaning of friendship for me. It's not just telling me what I want to hear all the time or giving me what I want. Yeah, pleasing this little whiny child inside. And also the way you are really trying to practice with integrity yourself and look at your own minds and guard and protect your own minds is helpful for those around you. It's been helpful for me as you keep your own mind safe. Yeah. So just seeing that has been helpful. And one of the things specifically that I heard was like, yeah, don't take everything so personal. And Venerable Children has talked about this in one of her teachings when I first got here. And so that's something I've looked at, like all the ways that I take things so personally, things people do, say, what's going on, things that have happened, how quickly the mind goes to like, how do I relate to this situation? Is it about me? And thinking it's all about me. So that's a really strong habit. And I won't try to really unpack all of that right now, but that's been very freeing and creating more space in my mind to keep checking that and telling myself something, an alternative, which is that, yeah, not to take things personal, what others, even if they're mad at me or maybe I'm annoying them or irritating for some reason, like even that, like to not take responsibility for other people's feelings and emotions. Of course, if there's something maybe I've done unskillfully, I would like to try and be more skillful, but take responsibility for what I'm contributing, but not for the other person's afflictions. And also, when I take things personal, I'm so focused on me. It's a very narrow mind. So I miss opportunities to hold the other person or the people in the situation with that mind of compassion and trying to really cultivate compassion and thinking about something much more virtuous. And when I take things personal, I also can go into fear, or anger, like I said, and upset. And so I've been seeing what is the cause of my suffering. It is these afflictions in my mind. It's not the other person. It's not the situation. So that's something I will continue to keep coming back to and keep practicing. It's been very, very helpful. And another thing, like if I feel like, well, someone's being rude or they weren't so skillful, like rather than being so focused on what they're doing, some other antidotes that I've been helpful to apply are like, well, see it as kindness. Or even if I make a request, I'm told no, to see like that is kindness, because it shows me, those usually there's some irritation, like, oh, there's a self-centered thought, huh? It's still there, and what, I want to keep cleaning that up. Or it could be like I think I know what I want and what would be good, but maybe not. Maybe what I'm being told actually might be better. But yeah, it's everything is seeing everything as an opportunity, every response, every action others are doing is opportunity to practice Dharma and to learn and to let go of that self-centered thought, self-grasping ignorance. So I've also, as I've been trying to practice these things with all of you and community, also just thinking about my life in the past and situations that have been very painful or confusing or hard, and imagining what would have been like to think in this different way, this new way, this Dharma way at that time. How would it have changed my experience? And that's been very healing and for a lot of things from my past. I'll continue to do that and practice that. Yeah, like I said, if I'm so focused on me, I'm not able to think of the other person's suffering and practice compassion and thinking, oh, just like me, they want to be happy, and probably just like me, they are confused sometimes about what the causes are for that happiness. So in thinking about situations in my past life, and that's been, so calming from my mind and creates a lot of space and decreasing, cleaning up some of the afflictive things that I've been carrying around. Finally, the other thing was I've been learning to be a lot kinder to myself here, and seeing all the ways in which I am not so kind. And when I see suffering behaviors and habits in my mind, something's been shifting as a result of the teachings and the practices and purification, I think, and that I'm able to see, oh, that's suffering. Like, whatever self-centered habits I have, or afflictions that come up, or fear, or just ignorance, impatience, all different things. Like, rather than beating myself up about the fact that all that's there in my mind and getting mad at myself, shooting myself with the second arrow, as the saying goes, just seeing, oh, that's, you're suffering. Yeah. And being kind, showing some kindness towards that part of me. And therapy has helped me a lot with this in the past, but it's really, Dharma practice and this time here, the past 9 months in the teachings, has really helped me to shift this and to see that the only sane response to suffering is kindness, not more suffering. And harm. So this morning, that there was a little turkey alone wandering and kind of chirping, and I imagine, well, I wonder if it's gonna confuse. Where's my flock of other turkeys? What's going on? And I thought, I kind of like that, kind of like that little turkey. Even right now, that's kind of like me. And I felt like, oh, I wish that turkey to feel calm, feel comforted, know it's in a safe place right now, even though, it's kind of feeling lost, and thinking, like, yeah, that's when I keep practicing having those sorts of responses to my own suffering when I see it. I keep coming back to that all of the things I've learned and received here at the Abbey, through the kindness of my teachers, sharing it, that it's going to take me a while to really integrate these things and fully digest and assimilate them. and I'm very ordinary. And it's, yeah, I have enough to practice. I've been given enough to practice for many lifetimes, and to just keep coming back to remembering the afflictions aren't me, other people's afflictions that they're experiencing aren't them, and that Buddha nature, the wonderful qualities of a Buddha mind, that we all have that potential, the compassion, the unconditional love, the generosity, and because, yeah, all phenomena, the afflictions are empty, minds are empty, like dependent on causes and conditions, that we are have these teachings that can help us create those causes to realize that sort of mind free of suffering and happy and able to be a benefit to those around us in the most excellent ways. I have a lot more I was going to say, but I think I'm out of time. So, yeah, in the future, my reason for coming to and in the past, my reasons for coming here have been because I want to improve my practice and I want to learn and grow in the Dharma and in my spiritual life and receive some spiritual nourishment. But I see like a that most of that has been offering service here. And, really, that's the way to really, a big part of how I've been learning to make the Dharma and the teachings my my way of thinking in my life, and to experience the fruits of practice. In the future, I'm hoping that my reason for coming, that it will be to offer service. Yeah, so thank you.